Hi! Last week I shared about Mi Lápiz, which is one of my all-time favorite review games for Spanish class or, really any language class. And this week what I wanted to do is to give you 5 examples of different activities you could turn into a game simply by using the Mi Lápiz rules. So let's jump right in. Hi, my name is Ashley, aka Señorita Spanish, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, please remember to give this video a thumbs up, click subscribe, and ring that bell so you get notified of all new content I create for you in the future. Thanks so much. So if you missed it, Mi Lápiz is a super simple low prep review game, and when I say low prep, I literally mean you need a pencil, a die, and a worksheet of some sort for your students to do. So the example number 1 is probably my favorite way to do this. The way that I do it most often is called read and translate. So you're going to give your students a list of sentences that are from a reading that you've been doing in class. And I usually set it up in like a table. So the Spanish is on one side, the English is on the other, and then you introduce the game and you let them go. And all they do for their game is they read the Spanish and they write the English. Read the Spanish, write the English. You could do it the other way. The reason why I prefer to do Spanish to English is because they're getting the input in reading the Spanish and then processing and comprehending that Spanish when they write out their answer, right? But again, if you wanted to do the other direction, you could. Option 2 is to do this with comprehension questions. So these could be, after a lesson that you've done, or again, after a reading, you give your students a list of comprehension questions and access to the reading, whether projected or right in front of them, and they have to answer the comprehension questions. The tricky thing with the comprehension questions, and I kind of mentioned this before in my other video on Mi Lápiz, is that you don't want to do anything too complex, because their thought process is going to get interrupted by people stealing the pencil out of their hands. But things like basic who, what, when, those kinds of questions, super easy to do with Mi Lápiz because they're just going to refer to the reading or refer to their memory of the reading and use that to answer the question. And just like with read and translate, you can have the comprehension questions in Spanish or in English, whichever you prefer. Option number 3 is to do read and draw. Read and draw is one of my favorite reading activities, and it's super simple to set up. You could do this one of 2 ways for your Mi Lápiz game. So one, you could give your students sentences already from their reading, or you could just give them a blank table or a blank sheet of paper and say, okay, you need to draw 6 scenes from the story, boom, and write the sentence that goes with them or something like that. Okay, so then your students would just refer to the story that they've been working on, write 6 sentences, and draw 6 sentences. So option number 4 is to do true and false statements. Students read the readings and then come up with true or false statements about the text. Then they can swap those questions with their partner and continue. The nice thing about this one is that you could kind of turn it into 2 rounds. So your first round of Mi Lápiz could be coming up with the 10 true and false statements. Then you could give everyone a little bit of time to finish. Then you could scramble their partners up and play again, having traded their true and false sheets with somebody else. So that could be a nice way to kind of build on this game and do it more than once in one class period. Number 5 is to do some sort of sequencing of events. And this could kind of work just like true and false, right? So you could have them write 10 statements or 10 events that happen in the story, make sure everybody has finished, then rotate, switch partners, and play Mi Lápiz by putting those events in order. The last option that I have for you is kind of the longest, most in-depth one, but it's similar to the true and false and the sequencing of events combo of activities. So this one combines the most important sentence reading activity and Mi Lápiz as a game. And if you're not familiar with the most important sentence, I have a blog post on it. It's from Eric Richards. Super awesome activity, but basically what it is it allows your students to work on their reading comprehension by selecting which sentences or which parts of the reading are absolutely vital, which parts of this reading make the reading happen. Like if we removed everything except for those, X number of sentences, could we still know what was happening, right? So the way that you're going to do this with Mi Lápiz is you're going to have every student take out a sheet of paper and you're going to have them number 1 through 10 or 1 through 12 and skip lines between their numbers. Then you can project the reading or give the reading to your students, and they're going to pick out the 10 most important sentences from the story. If they're already familiar with the most important sentence activity, this is going to be a breeze to set up. If they've never done this before, I might do the original most important sentence activity once or twice in your classes before adding the game twist, okay? So once they've written their 10 most important sentences, now we're going to set up for the game. So you're going to swap papers with a partner. Then you're going to play Mi Lápiz, where they translate the sentences that the other person has chosen as the most important. That's it. If you've used Mi Lápiz in your classroom, I'd love to hear what other kinds of worksheets or what other kinds of activities you'd paired with it to turn it into this game. So just comment below and let me know what other ways have you used Mi Lápiz in your classroom. Thanks so much for watching. If you haven't yet, please remember to give this video a thumbs up so YouTube knows you like it. click subscribe, and then ring that bell so you get notified of all new content I create for you in the future. Thanks again. I'll see you in the next one.